Welcome to 5 AM Ramen, where we showcase Japan's finest ramen. If you like ramen or want to learn more about ramen, you've come to the right place. I'm Frank, a Tokyo native, and I eat ramen every day. This is the 11th episode in a Northern Japan Ramen Series. In the first 10 episodes, I had 26 bowls of ramen in Gunma, Niigata, Yamagata, and Fukushima prefectures. The last two bowls were in Fukushima City, where I am now. And these last two bowls in the previous episode were amazing. This was at a ramen restaurant called Dateya, and it's become one of my favorite ramen shops in all of Japan. Check out that previous video if you're interested. So here's the plan. Visit 2 ramen shops today in Fukushima City, and then head to, drumroll, Kitakata City. Kitakata is basically a ramen paradise. It has more ramen shops per person than any other city in Japan. I say city, but it's really more of a town with about 45,000 people. But before Kitakata Ramen, we have some work to do in Fukushima City. The temperature is significantly colder than yesterday, with some light snow to match. Let's go to me on the ground. Good morning, everybody, from Fukushima City. Outside of the colder temperature and the strong wind today, it is a glorious day, very sunny, and I've got almost 2 kilometers to walk before getting to my ramen shop. And a little bit about this place. It's called Enami. They make their own noodles, and it's actually run by a former pro boxer, using his hands in a different way, making ramen. Excited. This is ranked very highly in Fukushima City, and I'm gonna work up an appetite to get there and brave the wind. I wasn't exaggerating about the wind either. Walking against the wind like some sort of ramen Jedi, I arrive at Enami and there's already a lineup outside. They'll hand you a menu while you're in line. When visiting a ramen shop for the first time, I normally go top left. This can be applied to ticket machines or to menus. Top left here is their shio, or salt seasoned ramen. I decided to order it with an egg. However, I found out later that a lot of people are ordering this one here, the spicy skemen or dipping ramen. I might have to go back in the future for this one. But anyways, this shio seasoned bowl at Enami didn't disappoint. Like a pro boxer, it punches above its weight. The soup is all about chickens. They use 4 breeds of chicken. Great noodles here too. They use a crazy 10 types of domestic wheat flour. All right, just finished my bowl at Enami, and you're probably all wondering, God, why did he order the same ramen as yesterday? And that's a fair point. I did order a similar ramen yesterday, and I was a little bit torn as to what to order. They had a big menu here. Skemen looked to be very popular with locals, but there was still a good amount of people ordering the shio ramen. Content-wise, yeah, keeping it a little bit similar. But I would like to point out, these 2 bowls were different. Whereas Dateya had more of a Japanese flavor with stronger fish notes, here it was really about the chicken. More of that syrupiness. It also wasn't as salty as Dateya yesterday. That Okinawa salt that he's using really creates a punchy, salty seasoning. You didn't get that here. It was softer and with even stronger chicken flavors. The noodles were, of course, great quality. I did like the dumplings here a lot. They were a little bit different from yesterday. Purely pork dumplings, no shrimp in there. The pork had a wonderful amount of ginger, and this is more like a modern bowl you'd see in Tokyo as well. You had pork and chicken chashu, different cuts, and even a chicken meatball there. He's a younger guy too, so I'm sure he's trying to push the boundaries a little bit more. And whereas Dateya yesterday, definitely, I think going for a more classic look, chuka soba look. Even though they're in the same category of ramen, they had their differences. Let me know which one you want to dive into. I'm making my way back to Fukushima City for our next bowl of Fukushima City ramen. And I promise it's going to be different from what we just had. Butter included. The name of the next ramen shop is Urota, and it's closer to central Fukushima City. I'm making my way over to Urota right now. And this street I'm on, it's like a ghost town. I feel like I didn't get the memo. Everyone moved out for some reason. I think what it is it's a drinking street. I think it's not too much day drinking right now. It's also a national holiday today, but you'd expect some people out and about on the street, but maybe it really only comes alive at night. Anyways, almost at Urota. I arrive at Urota, and I'm again faced with a few options. I go with their signature shoyu or soy sauce ramen. This place also loves using chickens in the soup, which makes sense because the owner here actually set up Enami, the shop we just visited earlier. The soup in this bowl is only water, chicken, and soy sauce. It's actually namashoyu, or unpasteurized soy sauce that they use. Besides this soy sauce and water, they're using chicken bones, and this includes whole chickens. They also add chicken oil to the top of the soup. Like Enami, they make their own noodles as well, which are thinner here. Adding butter seemed like the thing to do. Miso ramen in Sapporo will sometimes have butter as a topping, but you don't really see it in other styles of ramen. While this butter here is not a game changer per se, who doesn't like butter? It added a smooth richness alongside that chicken soup. And I didn't add it until maybe about halfway. I wanted to try the soup by itself first. Here's my full recap. So, just finished up at Urota. You saw some similarities there. Both modern bowls. This was also very much a chicken-forward bowl, although they were about showcasing more of a beautiful soy sauce here, shoyu. It was tangy, it was salty, and on the sweeter side. And also a thick layer of chicken oil there. Delicious bowl that would definitely hold up in Tokyo too. And again, they were very much about showcasing all sorts of chashu. So they pretty much run this town. And Fukushima is not exactly a small city, but this ramen group, they've carved a little empire for them in Fukushima City here. These three shops were great. A similar chicken theme across the board here, but I will have to say that of the three, of course, Dateya holds a special place in my heart. It's just the magic of that shop overall. And these two last bowls were excellent, excellently modern, very high level. But for me, the crown prize, of course, goes to Dateya. So, it's now time to move on to another ramen city, Kitakata. My plan was to eat 2 bowls in Kitakata City in the evening, but plans changed. Let's just say those strong winds had a big impact on everything. Unfortunately, all Tohoku Shinkansen trains are not operating. But it's not the end of the world because actually if I take the local trains, it only adds about half an hour. It is a bit of a journey. It's about 3 hours and a half and I won't be hitting up those 2 ramen shops, but that's fine. At least I'll get there. So what I thought would be about 3 hours ended up being much longer. First, I had to make a stopover in Koriyama. This is Fukushima Prefecture's 2nd largest city. I'm gonna need to come back to Koriyama in the future. There's plenty of great ramen shops here I haven't visited. But with just a short train layover, I grabbed coffee and apple pie at a place you're probably all familiar with. After killing some time, I then hopped onto my train to Aizu Wakamatsu Station, my next stopover. Not even Kitakata yet. And it was on my way to Aizu Wakamatsu that the weather definitely changed a bit. I had to wait again here in Aizu Wakamatsu. It was at this point I realized that as I wouldn't be arriving in Kitakata until late, it unfortunately wouldn't be possible to grab ramen in Kitakata that evening. However, with just enough time, I decided to grab a bowl across the street while waiting for the train in Aizu Wakamatsu. This ramen restaurant wasn't originally on my list, but it hit the spot, especially with the cold temperature outside and the snow falling. There, I ordered a miso tanmen. I'll recap this bowl properly for you once I've made landfall in Kitakata. After eating this bowl, I grabbed my last train for the day, finally, to Kitakata City. So, I have made it to Kitakata. This is basically sacred ramen ground. And wow, it's really empty. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get to the hotel or the ryokan from here. I think it's about a 17-minute walk, but it almost took me about 5 hours to get here if you add up all the transfers I had and also the delays. It was a real journey to get here, but yeah, maybe that makes it more epic in the end because I am here in Kitakata, pretty crazy. And at Aizu Wakamatsu Station, I was able to squeeze in 1 bowl. It was right across the street from the station. The name of the restaurant was Kinchan. Super simple, super local. You could feel how old the place is from the wallpaper, the menus, of course, the display case outside with the plastic ramen bowls. It also is a good reminder for me sometimes. I'm always chasing, these high-ranked places and things. But sometimes it's just so satisfying to get that simple bowl, just a local place that locals love. And this was one of those places. It was very satisfying to have that, especially because it's colder in Aizu Wakamatsu and over here in Kitakata. And it was a miso tanmen. Basically, the miso flavor was there. And of course, combined with a tanmen, which means a lot of stir-fried vegetables, a little bit of creaminess. What was most fun was that it included Kitakata noodles, like a preview of what we're gonna have tomorrow. Kitakata noodles are thick, slippery, and very springy. And those were in there, of course, they had to be in there.
that style of noodle is the standard. It's been a long day. I left at 2:18. I'm arriving here a little bit after 7, so I'm gonna go get checked in at my ryokan and look forward to beginning early tomorrow for a lot of ramen here in Kitakata.
This will all be in the next episode. In Kitakata, they eat ramen for breakfast. I'll be starting the day early tomorrow with some breakfast ramen. Stay tuned for this episode. As always, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you in the next ramen video.
Ah, my people. This place is open.